Africa's biggest and most controversial reality TV show, Big Brother Niaja, is back for its 7th season, and this one is tagged Big Brother Niaja Level Up. And with a larger grand prize, new features in the game and in the house, and with the ninjas being back and the live audience being back as well, Biggie has definitely leveled up this season. Hi guys, my name is Tito, and in this video I want to share with you some of the details about the handsome male housemates in the Big Brother Niaja Level Up house. Before we do that though, please do me a favor and like this video by clicking on the like button just underneath the video. Many of you are used to YouTube, so you know where the like button is. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the red subscribe button. I plan on bringing lots of Big Brother related content this season, so in order not to miss that, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications as well. That said, let's dive into it and talk about the age, occupation, and the states of origin of the handsome Big Brother Niaja Level Up housemates. Khalid, Ismail Rukuba Ahalu, 22-year-old graphic designer and muralist from Plateau. Khalid is an interesting fellow. He's very athletic outside the house. He's into boxing, skateboarding, and archery, of all things. But he came off as very laid back, very chilled, you know, from his video. And when he interacted with Ebuka on stage, he tried to bring the energy and all that. But I mean, they tell all of them to be energetic on stage. But I just looking at the guy, he looked very chilled and very laid back. And I worry for him in the house. I think the ladies will gravitate towards him because he's tall and, you know, he's good looking. But I don't know if that will keep him in the house. He may get into a relationship as part of his strategy, right? And because, you know, the ladies probably find him attractive. But how far that will take Khalid, I really don't know. Bryann Chukwu Ebuka Chiji, 24-year-old singer-songwriter from Imo. Going into the Big Brother Niaja house, Bryann was one of the few, if not the only, housemate with a verified Instagram account. He's a bit popular, he's a musician, and his music isn't too bad. I listened to a couple of his tracks on his Instagram page. Bryann came off as a bit low-key, although on stage he told Ebuka that he's bringing big energy into the house, but I didn't really feel that big energy. He gave me a low-key, like, reserved vibe, kind of like Ozo from a couple of seasons ago. But it's clear that he's going in there to try and sell his talent, or, you know, just showcase who he is as an artist. And there's nothing wrong with that. He said that as much, and we've seen that it works. Lekon went into the house with the same intent, and we know how things turned out for Lekon. GiddyFia, Gideon Anieti Nwawo, 24-year-old engineer from Akwa Ibom. GiddyFia wasted time getting on stage during the opening ceremony. He was busy dancing, and when he eventually got to Ebuka, he was nervous, so he was laughing a lot. So I don't think he really optimized his time on stage with Ebuka. He's a jovial guy, happy-go-lucky. He says he's likable, and that can be contagious. He's built, he's good-looking, but I also worry about GiddyFia in terms of how he will mix or fare, or how long he will last in the Big Brother Niaja house. Women will most likely move to the guy because he's handsome and he's fun-loving, but how long he will last is what I don't know. If you ask me, I don't think GiddyFia is going to be a finalist on this season of Big Brother Niaja. Hermes Chibueze Iyele, performing artist from Delta. I've actually seen Hermes before. He plays flag football here in Lagos, and I used to go and watch their live matches, but he doesn't play with the piercings in his face, so I wasn't sure if he was the one. But in his video, when he said he plays flag football, I put the pieces together. He's definitely the one. He's an interesting fellow. I'd never heard him speak before the launch ceremony. His accent, I found it to be a bit interesting. I also found myself wondering if that accent is going to be there for his entire stay in the Big Brother Niaja house. He's in a polyamorous relationship from what he said. He has 2 girlfriends. To be honest, that's not too far-fetched these days, especially in Lagos. People are in open relationships all over the place. I think Hermes will go far on the show. People seem to be intrigued by the guy, and if he has a good personality and if he gets along well with his fellow housemates, he may very well make it all the way till the end of this season of Big Brother Niaja. Groovy, Henry Olisa Emeka Orakwe, 26-year-old artist, fashion entrepreneur, and model from Anambra. Now, Groovy was the first housemate to get on stage to talk to Ebuka, and it was a bit awkward, if I'm being honest. Many of their interviews with Ebuka were awkward, but Groovy's was particularly awkward because he took time to get on stage to meet Ebuka, and then when he got on stage, he was kind of grabbing the mic from Ebuka and really shouting into the mic. And there was a moment that Ebuka unconsciously, I believe, made a face, and social media has kind of run with that moment. And it was just generally awkward. But back to Groovy and his chances in the house. He's a handsome chap. He has a bit of a following on Instagram, and I think he'll be safe for like the first couple of weeks based on his looks. But what will keep him in the game long term, in my opinion, is the content of his character. So let's hope he has a great personality and, you know, his fellow housemates like him. Pharmsavi. Savior Ikin Apan. Birthday 10th of July. Pharmacist from Akwa Ibom. Pharmsavi. First of all, that name, I'm not a fan. It sounds like one of those Greek investments from 2020, the kind of stuff I used to talk about on my personal finance channel back then. Anyway, I wish they went with his other name, Savior. That's a cool name. His interview with Ebuka was, I think, the most awkward of all the interviews on day one. He just kept on laughing, you know, when Ebuka was talking to him, and I guess it was his nerves. He was feeling a bit nervous, but at the same time, you need to put yourself together and sell your market. He's a jovial guy. He's a licensed pharmacist trying to get into entertainment. Clearly, from his video and his time on stage with Ebuka, he likes to have a good laugh. He's a gentleman. He's fun. I wonder how that would translate in the Big Brother Niaja house. I hope he stands a chance. I hope he's able to come up with a game plan, because he seems like a really nice guy and he seems like he will have content once he can just figure himself out. Yeah. Dotun. Dotun Mofinyoluwa Oloniyo. 26-year-old medical physiologist and personal trainer from Ekiti. One of the few really built guys in the Big Brother Niaja house this year. Dotun reminds me a bit of the actor Stantonze, and he also reminds me of former housemates Ima and Eric from previous seasons. Dotun is very confident about his looks, and he kept on talking about it in his video, and we'll see how far that takes him on the show, because I don't think one can really go on muscles alone in the Big Brother Niaja house. I'll look out for his chemistry with his female housemates, and you know, if his personality will actually shine through this season on Big Brother Niaja. Something interesting about him that I read on his profile on the DSTV website is that he says he likes to walk around shirtless, and that tends to intimidate insecure men. So I want to see if he's going to do that in the Big Brother Niaja house. Sheggz. Shegun Daniel Olushemo. 26-year-old actor and professional footballer based in England. An instant hit among the women in the audience and on social media, Sheggz is an actor and a professional footballer. I wonder where he plays his football. But yeah, the ladies love Sheggz, and Sheggz describes himself as the perfect mix between Lagos and London. The weather in both places is quite similar these days, so hey, why not? But yeah, the ladies love Sheggz. I'm sure he's going to be a big hit inside the house amongst the women, and I'm sure that the women outside of the house are going to keep Sheggz in that house for quite a while. When I heard him speak, my mind instantly went to Mike and Kafi and Kidwaya, and you know what Sheggz' chances or odds will be saying that he's not based here. So yeah, I'm worried about that, but I do know for sure that he'll be in that house for quite a while if it's left to the women who watch this season of Big Brother Niaja. Eloswag. Eloka Paul Nwamo, 27-year-old digital marketer and content creator from Lagos. I actually know Eloswag. We met last year. We were amongst 10 Nigerians selected by YouTube to take part in a program called YouTube Next Up, and it was a virtual program, so I never met him physically, but you know, we chat in the group and you know, during the sessions and everything. And Eloswag is a really nice guy, very jovial, wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a dancer, and that's what his YouTube channel is about, dance tutorials. Check him out on YouTube, right? And I was surprised to see him on screen. As soon as I saw him on stage with Ebuka, I put it in the WhatsApp group of, you know, YouTube Next Up 2021, that guys, our guys in the Big Brother Niaja house. I hope that the fact that Elo is such a jovial guy and so open, that his fellow housemates don't take advantage of that. That's what I'm worried about with Eloswag in the house. He says he's not looking for a relationship or anything like that. He wants to focus on, you know, getting his name out there and winning the money. And I really hope that he's able to accomplish both those things on this season of Big Brother Niaja. I wish my guy Eloswag all the best. Adekunle Tobiloba Olopade, 27-year-old digital marketing consultant from Lagos. Adekunle, the man with the voice. He told Ebuka that he's bringing a little bit of trouble and Lagos Island swag to the Big Brother Niaja house. And the first thing you notice about Adekunle is his presence and his voice. Once he started speaking in the video and once he got on stage, the women were screaming, and he has a really good voice. He's a digital marketing consultant. He speaks really well. In fact, he says he speaks a lot of English sometimes. I mean, that's what people say about him, but he can also switch it up on them and become an Agberu if the situation warrants it. He's a cool dude. He's like head of house material, leadership material. I think he'll go really far in the game. I think the women will try and move to Adekunle, and I think he might be open to it as well, because he did say he believes in love in first sight, and he didn't knock the possibility of finding love in the Big Brother Niaja house. Cyph, Bright Chidi Mwekete, 27-year-old software engineer from Imo. Tech bro Cyph. Cyph's interview with Ebuka was not the best. I don't feel the guy really sold himself. He was giving Ebuka one-word answers at a point, and he didn't really feel comfortable. He seems like another quiet guy, and I feel like in the house that would work against him. But I won't be watching Cyph in the house because there are things I hear about tech bros. For instance, I hear they really like women and they like to engage in extracurricular activities. These are just some stereotypes I've heard. So I'll be watching Cyph to see if these things are true. And hey, if he doesn't win the show, he may get a job with Piggy Vest or Flutterwave, since they're the sponsors of this season of Big Brother Niaja. And Cyph is a tech bro. He's a UI and UX designer, I do believe. Kess. Kessiena Tony Ajekwovu, 28-year-old businessman from Delta. Now, Kess is a good-looking guy, but he's married, and that's the first thing that Ebuka tackled him on when he got on stage. Ebuka said, married men historically don't have like really good odds on this show, Big Brother Niaja. I mean, talk about people like Thin Tall Tony, Nee, and Mike. So I think that will work against him. People tend to be very cautious in the Big Brother house around married men, particularly the women. Many of them don't want that drama or that stigma of messing around with a married man. So I think that will work against Kess in the house. But the funny thing with Kess is that he's from Delta State, and I assume he's from Warri. And the Warri guys on Big Brother Niaja tend to do very well. People like Omashola and Neo, and I think also Efe. So basically, Kess has a good thing going for him and also a bad thing going for him. But I think the fact that he's married will kind of get him out of the house sooner than later. Well, that's a wrap, guys. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Please like it by clicking on the like button just underneath the video, and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the red subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Big Brother Niaja content, I also do Nollywood movie reviews, and I talk about relationships. To check out my playlist of my relationship videos or my Nollywood reviews, you can click the card in the corner of the screen. I also have another YouTube channel where I talk about personal finance. To check that out, you can click the link in the description box down below. Regardless, I'll be back in a couple of days to talk more about Big Brother Niaja Level Up. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.